Greetings to Waltham Fields Community Farm, and happy Farm Day, everyone. In lieu of a gathering on the farm this year, we're creating this video to welcome you closer to the fields and celebrate our 25th anniversary. I'll be popping back in throughout the video with some beautiful highlights on the history of our organization and our farm, and I hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Sonia Wadman, and I'm the Executive Director of the Waltham Land Trust. The Waltham Land Trust's mission is to promote, protect, restore, and acquire open space in Waltham to create a legacy of land conservation. We were founded in 1999, and since 2002, we've had our administrative offices here at the Waltham Field Station. The Land Trust is mainly like a friends group. We do a lot of fun activities where we encourage people to come outside and join us on the trails and in the parks. We lead educational walks, history talks like this one, and you can find out about all of our programs and activities at walthamlandtrust.org. Today we're going to talk about the history and the legacy of this land, which has passed through many hands and has had many names. The legacy is steeped in agriculture, food systems, and land stewardship. We'll learn about those who were here before us and those who continue the mission today from the very same location. Let's walk over this way, sit by the benches, and then we can talk a little bit about the history of this whole property here. Between the 1630s and 1850 was a period of approximately 200 years of European settlement when land at proportion to colonial families was passed on through generations for subsistence farming. The Beaver Street area was sparsely populated with family homesteads and large lots on both sides of Beaver Street used for agriculture. The Hammond and Lawrence families built homes during this period. Leonard Lawrence purchased 140 acres on both sides of Beaver Street from the heirs of Ephraim Hammond. Leonard's son Frederick farmed the land into the 1850s. Lawrence Meadow on the north side of Beaver Street was named for this family. From 1850s to 1923 was a period of approximately 75 years of ownership by the Susan Clark and Samuel Dennis Warren family. About 200 acres of land between Waverly Oaks Road and Forest Street, centered along the Beaver Street axis, was consolidated over 2 decades into their Cedar Hill estate. Cornelia Warren inherited the estate when her mother Susan died in 1901. Miss Warren was born at the Cedar Hill Mansion in 1857. As a child, she enjoyed playing with her brothers on the farmland. As she later wrote, it instilled for her a love of the outdoors. As a young woman, Cornelia traveled widely with her mother and visited many beautiful European estates and gardens. Those trips influenced the design of the landscape of Cedar Hill, including Cornelia's 10-year project, resulting in one of the few full-scale Victorian mazes built in her era in America. The maze and many of the amenities of her estate were open for the public's enjoyment year-round. Miss Warren was particularly proud of her Cedar Hill Farm dairy, known for its sanitation and certified fresh milk.
I'm Marie Daly, and I'm one of the board members of the Waltham Land Trust, and I'm also on the board of the Waltham Historical Society. I've researched this land, and I had also been a Girl Scout on the Cornelia Warren property, and I'll be speaking about Cornelia Warren today. In 1908, Cornelia wrote about the Warren estate. 148 acres are divided between cultivated land, pasture, woodland, and the grounds about the house. Across the road are acres of corn and rye. The barns hold between 80 to 100 cows, and the Cedar Hill Maze attracts thousands of children during the summer months.
Cornelia Warren died at Cedar Hill June 5, 1921, after a lengthy illness. In accordance with the intent of her will, the trustees of her estate dispersed the 58-acre core of her Cedar Hill farm land and buildings to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to be used by the Massachusetts Agricultural College for its Eastern Cooperative Extension Service program. The newly created Eastern Region Market Garden Field Station, initially sited in Lexington, was moved to the larger Beaver Street property in the fall of 1923 when the land was acquired by the college. Initially, the extension program was developed to provide technical resources and support to farmers and commercial market gardeners who were experiencing various crop problems. With funding from the state, the Market Garden Field Station, this gray building, was completed in 1925. By 1930, its name was changed to the Waltham Field Station, and over the next 2 decades, it expanded into a comprehensive agricultural center serving the needs of professional growers, commodity groups, home horticulturists in eastern Massachusetts. In addition to research on pests and disease, faculty developed and tested new crop varieties, including the Waltham butternut squash and Waltham broccoli 29. An expansive new structure, complete with a 400-seat capacity auditorium, was completed in 1950. The iconic brick building was designed as an academic research facility to support scientific inquiry and new agricultural technologies tested in the laboratories, greenhouses, and fields surrounding the building. For both professional growers and the general public, the station provided specialized services equipped with 4 diagnostic labs: soil testing, avian testing, shade tree pathology, and plant pathology. The 1989 to 98 decade saw the closing of many family farms. During that same period, a small group of people became energized by the prospect of farming the dormant fields at the Waltham Field Station.
Hi, I'm Oaks Plimpton. This is my wife, Pat
McGee.
McGee. We
R. Plimpton McGee.
Pat used to work for Drummond Farm in those days. Inspired by the Back to the Earth movement of the 1970s, I joined a group of volunteers in 1990s to glean area farms for charity. In 1995, we gleaned close to 1,300 pounds of produce from Field of Greens, Parker Farm, and Drummond Farm. When we learned about the fallow fields at the University of Massachusetts Field Station, we proposed a charitable educational farm for the site. The university accepted the proposal, and Waltham Fields Community Farm was born. With a rototiller and a tractor and plow borrowed from Steve Parker, a local farmer, one field was planted entirely in potatoes and the other field in all the other veggies. We donated all our produce, with most of it going to Food for Free, the Cambridge Food Bank. We harvested 13,800 pounds of produce that first year. We incorporated as community farms outreach so as to pursue the broader goals of local and community farm preservation and promotion, with Waltham Fields Community Project being the main project of our organization. We raised some family and foundation funds, enough to pay for a farm intern, 2 agricultural interns, and buy some equipment, but we soon found that was inadequate to the task. We grew more weeds than crops. The difficulties of farming on a shoestring convinced us to try community-supported agriculture as a means to afford a farm manager and to put the farm on a sounder financial footing. Tim Cook, an experienced farmer, was hired to be our first farm manager. This proved to be a win-win decision because with experienced management, production increased 5 times and donations doubled. We operated a mini farmers market at the Chesterbrook Housing in Waltham, selling farm veggies in seconds from the Arlington Farmers Market for bargain prices, and operated a farm stand on Fridays and Saturdays at Waltham Fields.
A group of volunteers, guided by our founder, Oaks Plimpton, expressed interest in farming the fallow fields at the UMass Field Station in Waltham. Our first season of farming began. 4 acres were planted at the UMass Field Station that had not been used for 7 years. And with the support of Waltham Field's first farmer, Tim Cook, our first production began. We incorporated under the name Community Farms Outreach, a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization with a mission of hunger relief, education, and farm preservation, and deciding to name our farm Waltham Fields Community Farm. Our Community Supported Agriculture Program, or CSA, was created in order to fund effective farm management and to expand our provisions of local food to a broader range of constituents. The Children's Learning Garden was created. Friends of Cornelia Warren Farm, an organization, was formed to advocate for the preservation and rehabilitation of the UMass Field Station site. Our year-round farm manager and a year-round assistant farm manager position were created. Waltham Fields Community Farm expanded, farming an additional 3 acres of land located at the nearby Lyman Estate, owned by Historic New England. We took on a 3rd lease for 4 more acres in Weston, helping the family that owned the property then reclaim productive farmland for organic food production. Together with our Waltham leases with UMass and Historic New England, we were now farming a total of 15 acres. We celebrated our 20th anniversary of our Learning Garden and our 10th anniversary of our mobile outreach market. And now in 2020, we celebrate Community Farm Outreaches and Waltham Field Community Farm's 25th anniversary.
Hi, I'm Marla. I'm the Development and Volunteer Coordinator here at Waltham Fields. I've been here on and off for many years, and that goes back to when Oaks was a volunteer here. I was one of those volunteers and was one of the folks sort of trying to help them figure out how to make this an organization. I've been here for many years, helping to grow the volunteers, the corporate groups that come, all the individuals, and do fundraising. And I truly believe now that every community needs a community farm, much the way every town and city benefits from a public library. I think we should have some sort of public farm in every town and city so children can come and see where their food comes from and grow up, having that contact with the earth. So that is one of my goals and one of the reasons why I stay here. Happy Farm Day, everybody.
Happy Farm Day!